we have covered. Oh, and like the stream if you haven't already. Like the stream, like the stream, like the stream. People like the stream. We have covered Jasmine Flowers before. I, again, just full disclosure, I don't cover typically, like 98% of the time. I don't cover other people's content unless it's sent to me. And I'm just gonna let y'all know, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, if you send it to me, I'm gonna take that as an invitation to react to it live. And I'm gonna completely throw you under the bus and tell the world that you sent it to me. So now I have an excuse to say something. That's how this works over here. Yes, I will throw you smooth under the bus, Jennifer. So anyway, we're gonna we've covered Jasmine before. I feel like so far I have gotten feedback that I've been fair to Jasmine. So far I've gotten feedback that I've been fair to her. Her video is 19 minutes, but we're not gonna I don't think there's any reason to cover the whole 19 minutes. Like I think we're gonna get the gist within about a 10-minute portion, but we will see. We will see. So we've covered her before. I have been critical. I've tried not to, judge necessarily. And if I am judging, try to be honest about it. And most of the feedback has been that I've been fair. But y'all, somebody can easily say that my chat is biased. Do you guys think you're biased? Are y'all biased toward me? Because I don't feel like y'all tell me what I want to hear at all. In fact, y'all be getting on my nerves sometimes. In fact, I get on y'all nerves sometimes. Y'all feel like y'all got okay, Journey of Life has a bias toward me. Journey's gonna take my side and everything, but there's no yes, you have a bias. Journey, you cannot be helped, you can't be saved. There's no fixing it, you cannot be fixed. This is just what it is. Holly, don't encourage this behavior, okay? Don't. Okay, don't. Okay, we know Delilah's not biased. Okay, me and Delilah, I will never forget the time we stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, my time, just talking about vanity sizing. Yes, okay. Just a little, but I am honest still, though. I can be too much for people sometimes. There's no such thing as too much over here, Shonda. I just be trying to tell y'all to act right when we got company. That's all. That's all. I just be wanting y'all to behave yourselves when we have company. That is all. I'm biased toward Jen. You know what, Paul? I'm gonna give it to you. Okay, so I'm just saying, like, so when I ask for feedback and people tell me, like, I think you were fair. I get why some may say, okay, but that's your chat. They're biased. I don't think so, but that's my bias, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just gonna say, I think I've been fair to Jasmine. I honestly, to be quite honest with you, I have yet to get pushback on a single reaction to Jasmine. I've gotten pushback on reactions to Dave, Allie. I guess it's just Dave and Allie. Maybe there's somebody else in there. What's her name? Countess. But I haven't gotten any. I've covered Jasmine like 3 or 4 times, and I haven't gotten any pushback from my coverage of her. So I don't know if that means like maybe her audience hasn't crossed over with mine yet, or maybe people do get the impression that I'm being fair, or I don't know. I don't know. Like maybe the keyboard warriors just haven't found my reactions to her yet. Well, with this video, okay, I do feel a sense of stress when it comes to Jasmine. I do. I do feel a sense of stress. And that is because, or do I want to say distressed? That's because I am very torn on Jasmine. I'm torn on her, and I've been torn on her. And I think as of like this video, my dilemma is like I've been pushed to one side of the fence. Whereas I would really ride the fence with her, but try to be critical, but really I really do understand her and I relate to her in some ways. There's this thing about her. There's this thing about her that's just like, I feel like there might be a little, oh God, this is gonna sound so bad. You know what? You know what? If I say it, I am opening myself up to criticism. I feel like there might be a little bit of delusion involved, okay? Or stubbornness. We can call it stubborn if delusion is too harsh, but that's why we're evaluating, okay? We're gonna figure out if this space is just if it if this is somewhat of a delusional space. Okay. So the title of her video The title of her video is I regained 30 pounds, so I'm done chasing weight loss. All right. But let me give you, for those that aren't familiar, her channel is Jasmine Flowers. Nice lady. Um, Let me just give you a sense of what's been happening with her, just surely based on her titles, but keep in mind that a person's title of their video doesn't tell the full story of, what is happening in the video. But let me just give you somewhat of an idea. So I've been training for the wrong goal, fat loss retreat. I overate all weekend. Here's my calorie deficit reset. I'm sorry, she said fat loss reset. I overate all weekend. Here's my calorie deficit reset. What I eat in a day. I lost 150 pounds on a GLP-1, then quit. Here's what really happened. I gained 13 pounds in January. My honest weight loss update. Quitting a GLP-1, gained 20 pounds in 3 months. What I eat and weekly weigh-in. I gained 7 pounds in 1 week. My hardest year yet, stopping a GLP-1, weight regain, what's next? I gained a lot of weight. Mental health update. I gained weight this week. This is the last time I'm addressing this. Truth about my progress, setting the record straight. Okay, so now we're back into, 3 months ago. So that's at the start of the year. And then there's truth about my November weight gain. Now, the time stamps with YouTube are a little off. Please take a moment to like the stream if you haven't already. Like the stream and leave a comment. Okay, there are 46 people watching and my same 7 naggers in the chat. Okay, they nag and they nag and they nag and they poke and they poke and they poke and they get on my nerves. No, I'm just kidding. But drop that on the chat and say hello. We only bite on Tuesdays and today is not that day. So for 3 to 4 months, roughly 3 to 4 months, she's been talking about regaining weight since being off of a GLP-1. Okay. I So my question is, okay, oh God. At what point, okay, let me back up. Weight loss is hard, whether you're on a GLP-1 or not. I don't care what nobody says. Like, if you lost weight on a GLP-1 and it was easy for you, you're lucky. That's just how I feel. If you lost weight on a GLP-1 and it was easy to you and it was a breeze and it was effortless and you didn't have to do much of anything, you're lucky that you got that result. But for the most part, it's not easy, especially if you have over 60, 70, 80, 100 pounds to lose. It is not easy. So we work very, 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 very hard to lose weight with or without a GLP-1, right? In my mind, in my mind, it is vital, it is essential that we maintain as close to every pound of loss as possible. Like however, whatever weight we lose, we maintain as much of that as possible. That's how it works out in my mind, right? Well, I would think that that applies to everyone, but I guess not. And you have some people that are getting off of GLP-1s, which seems a little confusing, but people get off for different reasons. You have some people that switch their GLP-1 from tirzepatide to semaglutide brand or compound or whatever. You have people that lose coverage altogether. So there's so many different things that happen within this space. And from the start of my channel, one of the biggest things that I have stressed is, what do you do if you're no longer on a GLP-1? What would I do? What does anyone do? What is a person to do if you're not on a GLP-1? And different people have different answers to that. Now, some people in this community, okay, like I've expressed before, get tunnel vision about GLP-1s and feel like once you're on them, there is well, I won't say there is no reason to get off of them, but some of us feel that once you're on a GLP-1, you commit to the GLP-1 for life unless there is a reason, a medical reason to get off of it, or a financial or insurance or whatever. But outside of that, you get on the GLP-1 and you commit because that's the answer. Duh. That's why, we haven't been able to lose weight because of the hormones. This is the answer. This is the way we're supposed to do it. Okay. And I personally feel like, all right, slow down, everybody. That's not the answer for everyone. It's not going to be the answer for everyone. That in and of itself is a little bit of delusion. I love you guys. I love you guys. But that in and of itself is a tad mini little tiny bit of delusion that a GLP-1 is the answer, is the one size fits all for everyone or the majority of people, okay? Shout out to Heidi. Thank you so much for falling out of the clouds. And hello, positivity. How you doing? All right. So Jasmine decided to get off of a GLP-1 for whatever reason. We don't know. She didn't share. It's none of our business. We don't know. All we got is the information that she has provided us with. So we know that for about 4 months, she has been regaining weight. And I spent a little time today looking at other content creators that have regained weight after removing a GLP-1, titrating down on a GLP-1, or being in maintenance on a GLP-1. So let me tell you who some of those people are. So we know Dave regained weight because he switched GLP-1s, and so he's trying other methods. I found out that Allie titrated down and she regained weight. We will hear about Jasmine getting off of a GLP-1 and regaining weight. We started to hear a little bit about Lex being in maintenance and regaining weight, but we don't really know why. We don't know if it was her eating, we don't know if it was her fibroids, we don't know what it was. And I'll even throw myself in there with I gained a little bit of weight when I titrated down. Here's where I start to judge. Okay, guys, I'm going to judge. I am going to do it. And if I'm wrong, if I'm off base, y'all just let me know. When I decided to titrate down, I gave myself a window because we know that the majority of people on a GLP-1, if they get off of it, they're probably going to regain the weight, right? So we know that. We don't often talk about titrating down and weight regain, but that's kind of intuitive. I would think that that's kind of obvious that you're at risk for some weight gain. So because I knew I was at risk for increased appetite, increased food noise, and then, and my weight going up, my plan was I'll give myself a 5-pound window of weight regain before I panic and hit the panic button and go back up to the 10 milligram. That was my plan. You're going to get hungry. You're going to have cravings. The noise is going to come back. The scale is going to go up. How much of that are you willing to tolerate before it's stopped? Everybody stop what you're doing. How much of that are you willing to tolerate? Who's Lex? She is the one that I started out with. Let me give you a reminder, Jen. We will get back to Jasmine in a second. Do you remember this video, Jen? You remember this?
In the gym, outside of discipline.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had it on 2x speed because I'm on the spectrum. Forgive me. Okay. I yes. Okay. Whatever.
This is arms sideways, the arms front ways, the arms from the other side, and this is what my arms look like from the back. Okay. Now this is what my back wings look like when my arms are up. Okay, we're not gonna talk about my underarms because I need to shave. But hey, if you too busy looking at my underarms, you have other what my arms look like.
So that's Lex. And one could posit that video in and of itself was full of delusion. That sounds bad, but it, I think we were very fair when we reviewed it the first time. But in hindsight, that video was full of delusion. Whatever. So anyway, my plan was 5 pounds. That's it. Why did I pick 5 pounds? Because, like I said, weight loss is hard. We have to fight to get and keep. People forget about the keeping part. We have to fight to get and keep every single pound off. And we have to fight to keep that weight off for the rest of our lives, no matter what your method is, whether it's GLP-1, whether it's fasting, whether it's eat less, move more, whatever it is, you have to fight to keep every single pound off. But rebounds are going to happen. Rebounds are bound to happen. So I gave myself a 5-pound rebound, 5-pound rebound. 4 of those pounds came back in the first week of me titrating down. Food noise was through the roof. Hunger was through the roof. Appetite was through the roof. Everything was through the roof. I regained 4 pounds in 1 week. So what I did, I stopped what I was doing. I evaluated what I was eating, how I was feeling. I took notes and I took a different approach in the next week to at least stop the weight gain, just to at least stop it. And then I proceeded to get back to losing weight. Here's where I find people to be here's where I start to question people, and y'all just let me know if I'm being unfair. Hello Serena, how you doing? What is an acceptable amount of regain before a person should reevaluate what they're doing? What? I'm sorry. This is why I shouldn't be reading the chat. Delilah, are you talking about who threw out 6 months worth of the homie when they can stay out of the fridge for 21 days? Or you could put it on ice. I mean, not freeze it, but you could cool it. Anyway, so I took what will be my final dose this past Tuesday. I am scared about regain. This is very scary. Still have 6 pens left and 2.5 milligram prescription ready to pick up. All right, Serena. So you don't have to tell us why you got off of a GLP-1 if you don't want to. It really doesn't matter why. I mean, it's up to you if you want to share or not. Because I guess, context can help with a situation. We do know that for most people, weight regain is inevitable. So for you and anyone else, how much weight regain is reasonable before you start to like reevaluate? And that doesn't mean like go back on a GLP-1 if you can't, but just like evaluate where the weight gain is coming from and take a different approach to whatever you're doing in the present moment. Shonda says I got off of the shot due to insurance. I'm doing fine, thank goodness. Um, I think you're saying you built such a good lifestyle, healthy lifestyle and habits, literally changing your brain. Okay. Alternate daily fasting. Shonda, I was just watching a video on that before I got on the live stream. Like the stream, please stop what you're doing. Everyone stop what you're doing. Everyone, yes, I'm looking at you. Number 53 that just came into the chat or just came into the live. Stop what you're doing. Leave your shoes at the door and like the stream, okay? Thank you. And say hi in the chat. Jen says 20 pounds, okay. Vazzy says 10 pounds. Hey, Vazzy. Um, Delilah, you're so harsh. Paul, Paul, you're no help. Paul says 3.7 ounces. Paul, how do you even measure that on a scale? Paul, give me a real answer. Stop, don't do that. Carla says 5 pounds. Positivity says, I don't think that once you get on a GLP-1 that you should ever come completely off. Maybe go down a dose or maybe not take a shot every 7 days. Well, some people get kicked off because of insurance. Some people that pay out of pocket may not have the finances anymore. Uh, some people may have to get off for surgery or some sort of medical procedure. So there are people that have to get off. I think you more so mean people that just voluntarily get off because they don't feel like it anymore. Okay. 20 pounds meaning off. 20 pounds meaning like you've gotten off of a GLP-1. A 20-pound rebound you think is like, okay, that's the moment you hit the panic button. Hey Sunshine, how you go? Hey girl, 10 pounds? I'm not reading that, Delilah. If y'all want to know what Delilah said, read it on the screen. And if you can't read it, good for you. Good for your eyes. Delilah. Delili, why do you do this to me? Oh my god. Oh my god, why? Jen says personally 10 pounds. Nicole says 10 pounds. Okay. All right. So here's what I think about it. And it's obviously it will vary person to person, but let's be arbitrary and talk in general, right? What we say don't matter to nobody. So with titrating down because I still have weight to lose, I was only comfortable with a 5-pound rebound because I lose weight slowly for whatever reason, maybe because I've yo-yo dieted so much in my life, but I lose weight slowly, so a 10-pound rebound wasn't an option for me. So I was ready to hit the panic button and titrate back up if I had reached, like, if I had surpassed 5 pounds. And I was able to get everything under control and start heading in the right direction after 4 pounds of regain. But once I'm in maintenance, meaning like I'm done with looking forward to the scale dropping further, then I'm more comfortable with a 10-pound uh rebound. That's why my actual goal of 242, I don't think it's going to stay there because a 10-pound rebound will put me back into being overweight. So I think I'm actually going to go down to 230, but we will cross that bridge once we get to 242. But from 230, a 10-pound regain or rebound will allow me to get my, like, that's enough time for me to figure out how to get my life together, whether it comes on in 2 weeks or whether it comes on in 2 months, right? Well, okay. I personally, now y'all let me know if I'm being delusional, but I happen to think 20 pounds is too much if you're off completely. I happen to think that I happen to think that 20 pounds, and from what I've been seeing, people it tends to come, I've seen it come back in 4 months for people. I've seen it come back in a month for people, or a month and a half. So maybe it also depends on how quickly it comes back. Like if you gain 20 pounds in a month, you need to stop what you're doing immediately. Like, I don't make me go skinny talk on y'all, but you damn near gotta stop eating. Like, that sounds mean. Because I'm pro fasting. I am. I'm pro fasting. So that's why I say that. I don't say that as in like ED, stop eating, or you have some sort of medical condition. No, no, no. I'm talking about, or disorder. I'm talking about like deliberate fasting. Like I am team. You gain 20 pounds in a month, you need to stop. You can't gain no weight if you don't put no food in your mouth. Unless you have something growing inside your body that's putting on weight. There's that. That is a thing. That is a thing. So I just happen to think that yes, I'm live. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I uh I happen to think that 20 pounds is a lot. And my bias is I am a person that struggles to get every pound off. I am a person that struggles to get every pound off. So I fear I won't say every pound, but every 3 pounds or more of regain, it's like my eyes start getting big. My eyes start getting big, like, all right, now it's time to put down the fork. And listen, I've admitted, I know we don't like diet culture. I know we have a disdain and a distaste for the things that we were told, over the course of our lives as far as weight loss. I tried to express it the best way I could that we were taught wrong with you know, the willpower versus discipline stream. Some people got it. Some people are like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And I really just didn't want to cover it again. But I know we have a nasty taste in our mouths regarding the conventional wisdom of how to lose weight. But now that I'm a bit more experienced, right, with a GLP-1 in addition to other things, I feel like the answer is really somewhere in the middle. Like it's not quite the conventional wisdom. That's an incomplete story, but a GLP-1 ain't the complete story either because we still see people struggle on a GLP-1. So the answer is somewhere in the middle where you do have to change your lifestyle and your habits and your eating. I know that's the part that people hate, and that's why we're going to talk about Jasmine today. I know that's the part that some people hate. Yes, okay, yes. Sometimes you got to change your eating. Sometimes you got to change how much you're eating. I know it's taboo to talk about over. Matter of fact, let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all what Oprah said, because I know y'all didn't see this. I know 50% of y'all, 80% of y'all didn't see this. I'm a lifer, no ifs and buts about it. Just saying. I got you. I got you. Okay. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what Oprah said. I didn't think she was right about this, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me show y'all what she said. The title of this video is We're Living in a Shortcut Era.
We're living in the shortcut era. If you think about, Serena Williams, I think she did a GLP-1 commercial for Ozempic. If I'm no, it wasn't Ozempic. It's a different company she did, even for Super Bowl. You see her when she played tennis. You see what she looks like today. The average woman looks at that and says, if she couldn't do it naturally, why should I try to do it naturally with exercise? Oprah Winfrey, don't know if you saw this clip on The View. Rob, can you pull this clip up on The View of what she said? She's on The View, and she says, it took me this many years to realize that being fat is not my fault. It's my genetics or it's my DNA. And by the way, you may agree with her. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob. Go for it.
All these years, I thought I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I should eat, how many calories was that, how long was it going to take. I thought that that was because of me and my fault. Yeah. Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have, that is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese. Right. Obesity causes you to overeat. Right. Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise.
Yeah. Do you agree with her?
No.
Okay, tell me why.
Okay, so this is going to be a very long-winded answer.
Please.
Because there's a lot of components there to unpack. I mean,
because the average person watches this. She's 72 years old, looking like that. They're going to say, why wouldn't I do it?
Right. So there's a lot of things to unpack here. Okay, first of all, there's no just obesity gene. Okay, there are, genes that are associated with predisposing someone to gaining fat easier.
Okay. So, oh, stop. Okay. So Oprah says, well, I realized that it wasn't my, oh God, don't use that tone. That is so dismissive. Okay. I'm checking myself because I know that when I know I'm going to judge, I got to compensate by being reasonable in other areas. So anyway, Oprah says she realized it wasn't her fault and she has an obesity gene and her eating didn't cause her obesity. She didn't eat too much. Her obesity caused her to eat too much. Like her overeating didn't cause her obesity. Her obesity caused her overeating. Now, I know we get wrapped up in hormones because hormones reign king in the human body, okay? Hormones reign king in the human body. Physiology reigns king. Genetics, all of that. I just think that when we hyper focus on the hormones, we do leave out some level of accountability. And the reason I'm saying that is not to put emphasis on gluttony and sloth and, oh, you're just a bad person or you just eat too much and blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you're talking to me, I would say the old me just ate too much. Even on the GLP-1, like 6 months ago, it dawned on me like, you know what? I'm not losing weight on this milligram. I think I eat too much and I started eating less. Okay. So to say that there's an obesity gene or, the hormones, all of these things, well, the obesity gene thing is not exactly true, but your genetics, let's say genetics, your hormones, your environment, whatever, all of these things are true at the same time. But the part that I think we have a nasty taste in our mouth about is the accountability portion, is the part where you choose, right? We have put a lot of stake in hormones, so much so that we poo-poo or we dismiss the idea that, oh, to some extent, I should be accountable, whatever, because our hormones are getting the best of us. Okay. So with that being said, I think, some people make excuses. We've all made them. I think we've all made them. I think we've all made excuses at some point. Let's go ahead.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me,
and get into Jasmine's video because I don't think that she's unique as far as her feelings about weight loss or her feelings about calories or her feelings about I can have any diet I want as long, and I'll still lose weight. She's not unique in that way. But at a certain point, it's like, one, if what you're not doing is if what you're doing is not working, then at what point do you decide to do something different? Especially if you've lost a significant amount of weight and now it's coming back. So y'all said 5, 10, 20 pounds. I think 20 was the most that I heard. If you get off of a GLP-1, a 20-pound rebound is, you know, work wittable. For me personally, I think that we have been desensitized to what weight gain really looks like, as far as like how fast it happens, at what point should we intervene, at what point should we about face, and then the fear of getting on the scale too. How else do you track your weight regain if you never step on a scale? I heard Ali say in her video she knew the weight was coming back and she didn't want to step on a scale. I'm like, that is the opposite of what you should do. You should absolutely step on a scale. I know some people are gonna be like, oh, but my mental health and my this. I'm not trying to be dismissive, but it's like, let's not be delusional about these things, okay? When we're losing the weight, we step on the scale. Why do we stop stepping on the scale when we know the weight is coming back? Why we're afraid to face that reality? You need to face it before that 20 turns into 55 pounds. And with Jasmine here, I remember looking at her comments in a previous video where people were like, 25 pounds isn't that much. 25 pounds in 5 months or 4 months or whatever it was isn't that much. Isn't that bad? 20 pounds in 3 months isn't that bad. And I'm just like, what? Says who? When you work as hard as we do to get this weight off, when we work as hard as we do to get this weight off, you're talking about a 20-pound regain, ain't a big deal, and it's not stopping, it's still continuing. That is where I think that is one of the entry points of delusion into this space. And it comes from it don't matter whether it's a content creator or a person leaving a comment, the delusion exists as far, the delusion around weight loss and regain, whether you're on a GLP-1 or not, because she's not anymore. Her reason for going down was hypoglycemia. I think her blood sugar was getting too low at her dose. So her and her doctor talked about titrating down. And just like with me, the food noise came back, the hunger came back, the cravings came back, everything came back with a vengeance. But like, you can't just stick your head in the sand and let it and sit back and let it happen. Is that unfair for me to say? Could I control my food noise in that first week? No. Could I take steps to try to blunt it as much as possible? Yes, by eating more protein, by eating more fat, by giving in to my hunger. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat, but not necessarily giving in with the things that are going to cause the weight gain in the first place, right? But it took me about a week or two to understand, like, okay, your body's not playing with you. Your body wants you to regain this weight and it wants you to regain it now. And if you are not careful, you will be up 10 pounds by the end of this month. You will be up 10 pounds by the end of this month. So get with it or get lost. And that is, to me, I'm not saying I'm perfect or that I did everything right or that I know everything, but it's like, sticking your head in the sand is not how to get results. Okay. And I am one to believe that people can be successful outside of a GLP-1 because they are. It's a little tricky when you have been on one and then you get off. That is a journey that we are not too sure about yet, because the numbers say you're doomed for the most part. Most people are doomed if they get off. But I would say that I'm one to believe that that's an incomplete story. And there is a reason why people are failing at getting off of their GLP-1s. But it would be up to Eli Lilly to do the research and give it to us to let us know how to do it properly. But that's not in the interest of their wallets. Okay. So I think that we get so sensitive about staying on a GLP-1 is because, one, if it's an obesity treatment and you want to no longer be obese, you keep doing your obesity treatment. I just happen to think that GLP-1s aren't the only obesity treatment. They just happen to be the ones that work for us. The homie happened to work for us, okay? So I'm going on and on and on because there's like so many points about this video that I want to make. I figured it was just best that I do it live to go ahead and make the point. All right. So Journey of Life said, oh my God, you should see what they feed the kids in school. It's all packaged foods. That's a systematic issue. See, like when it comes to the kids, I feel like the kids don't have control over what they eat, right? And if parents knew better, parents would do better. A lot of the parents, we talked about this before, like what would be the most important strategy or tool? I happen to say education first. I happen to say education. I gotta find out what live stream that was. That was a really good one because we were talking about the food stamps and the junk food. We were talking about all of that and how we grew up and poverty and accessibility. And we were reviewing the Jubilee stream. Yes, and we were talking about affordability of food and buying groceries versus buying fast food and, controlling the food in the house because, there's kids in the house and then the kids end up gaining weight. Listen, if parents knew better, I think that they would do better, but knowing better starts with education. So, yeah, that was a great stream. It was. I need to find out which one that was so we can review that. But anyway, let me shut my mouth. Let me shut my pie hole and get into Jasmine's stream. If you haven't already, please take the time to react to the stream, leave a comment, like the stream, or you can dislike it if you don't like it, and share. Why not share? And don't forget to subscribe. I never tell y'all to subscribe while I'm live. Please hit the subscribe because I'm live every week. I don't know why y'all be missing out. Actually, you know what? If you're new, you're not even getting the best of me right now because I'm so tired. And I'm so sorry. I apologize, but I love you all. Thank you for being here. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into I regained 30 pounds, so I'm done chasing weight loss.
Jasmine, and welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been a year since I have talked to you guys, even though it's literally been like
Now Jasmine, she does her videos in vlog style, so there's a lot of like filler commentary. So I am gonna be skipping around a lot, but if you do want to watch the full video uninterrupted without my commentary, you can go to her channel and watch the video.
here and talk to you guys directly for a hot minute. I'll be honest, this video is gonna be kind of hard to make, and it honestly isn't really a video I necessarily wanted to make, but I do feel
Also, let me know if the speed is too fast because for me personally, I feel like she talks pretty slow. So no, I'm the problem. I always speed up my videos. So if it's too fast, y'all just let me know.
a certain sense of obligation, which I feel like that sounds weird because obviously I'm not really obligated to anyone like on the internet, but I feel a sense of obligation to kind of just update you guys who have been following me for a while and documenting my whole. I do genuinely appreciate all of you, and I've been really fortunate to be disappointing a lot of people, and honestly I'm disappointed in myself, but I feel the need to kind of be transparent. So last week's vlog would have been my monthly recap for the month of February. I usually do a monthly recap at the end of every month where I kind of go over my weight loss and my measurements, and I share like body shots and things. I have continued to gain weight pretty much for the past like several weeks now. It's just kind of been a steady progression. I've been dealing with a lot of personal things just kind of here at home that I'm not really open to talk about right now on the internet or anything, but yeah, I've just had a lot going on, and I've definitely been turning to food to cope with stress and stuff, and it's been reflecting on the scale. I don't really know what my last weigh-in was that I shared.
Okay. So turning to food to cope with stress. We all get stressed out in our lives. We all have personal stuff that we're going through, and a lot of us have struggled in the past with emotional eating or stress eating or whatever. Has anybody ever tried to address that before being on a GLP-1? Because I would say I did not. I would say that when I found myself, like when I became aware that I was eating in that way, I didn't really think of what to do about it. I mean, like if I was trying to lose weight for a special occasion, then yeah, I could lose weight. Like I would fast or whatever, but I would never stick. But like before being on the GLP-1, I never actually did anything about it. Hey Darium, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Um, and since being on the GLP-1, I will say I realize how important it is to take that seriously. Like, well, GLP-1s, like Dave talked about, or tirzepatide being a hedonic anti-hedonic medication, it's dampening that reward or that desire for this, to get your reward from food. And it wasn't until getting on a GLP-1 that I realized how important it is to take seriously stress eating or emotional eating or whatever. Being on a GLP-1 has allowed me to realize that when you are at a disadvantage, genetically, physiologically, metabolically, if you want to say, when you are at a disadvantage, meaning that damn near no matter what you do, your body is going to put on weight, and then you find something that works for you, you have to be extremely careful with those old habits, especially if you decide to reduce the thing that works or remove the thing that works. So that would be titrating down on a GLP-1 or removing a GLP-1. You don't get to play by normal people's rules. If you have an ED, if you have even the tendencies of a that a person with an ED has, if you have poor lifestyle habits, poor eating habits, overeating, stress eating, hinge eating, whatever it is, you don't get to play by normal people's rules. That is going to be important as we continue on with her video, because I'm going to just go ahead and spoil some of this from my perspective. Jasmine seems to be under the impression that she can that the rules that would apply to a normal person, I can eat whatever I want to some extent, as long as I reduce my calories and I'll lose weight or whatever, or I'll maintain my weight. To a person that doesn't have an extreme level of metabolic dysfunction, she seems to think that those rules apply to her. She seems to think that those rules apply to her. And I'm saying that they don't. So there's a level of delusion here to think that, yes, you lost weight successfully on your own at first. You got on a GLP-1 and you lost even more weight. But the rules actually change once you've been on a GLP-1 and then you get off. Like, it has to be abundantly clear that you don't get to do what normal people do as far as maintaining your weight, because that's why you needed the GLP-1 in the first place. But it seems like Jasmine is not aware of that. So I'm going to let her continue. And if you haven't already, please like the stream and drop down into the chat. They're having a party down there.
With you guys, I want to say the last time I shared a weigh-in, I was like 216 or something like that, maybe. I will share with y'all, I guess, my latest weigh-in, just again for a little bit of transparency. I guess it's not really full transparency because, again,
Good
I
night,
have personal things
sunshine.
going on in my life that I do not want to share on the internet at this point in time, but I will share my current weight just because that's something I have been open with here on the internet. So I did weigh myself yesterday, which, by the way, today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, March the 10th. I last weighed in yesterday, which was Monday, March the 9th. I had weighed in at 232.8. Yeah, I don't even, like, again, I don't really have any excuses for that number other than I've been really struggling with my mental health, and yeah, I've been struggling with my overeating. I'm not going to say the other word because I don't want to get flagged by YouTube. I actually recently had a video taken down by YouTube because they determined I was, I guess, talking about stuff that they don't want people talking about.
My bad. Let me tell y'all something. I don't watch her channel outside of reacting to it, but I've reacted to enough of her videos to know that every single video that I have watched, she repeatedly states that she is struggling with her hinging. Every single video. So I'm not surprised that YouTube took one of her videos down. In case anybody didn't know, because of the sector of people that make money eating on camera and they're obese, now YouTube is a little biased toward the obese ones or whatever, because they don't bother the thin people that eat on camera. But because of a particular sector, they are cracking down on what they view as self-harm content. I don't think she's doing self-harm content or anything like that, but that's kind of how YouTube views it. If you're talking about these EDs and disorders that you have, for some, YouTube has become extremely sensitive to that type of content. She talks about it every week, and I'm not even saying she shouldn't. It's her journey to share, but it's like I noticed this pattern in her videos where I was starting to feel like, okay, well, what are you doing about that? Because that's the part that I never hear. Like, I never hear, she may or may not be in therapy, but it's like, if she is, it ain't working because she repeats the same cycle every single week. I understand this from a person pre GLP-1, right? In a sense, you don't know no better. Like before you get on a GLP-1, you really don't know how bad you're messing up. Like, you know you're messing up, you know you're overweight, you know you're obese. There is some, accountability missing, but you may be aware that like your hormones are involved and you're not quite sure what to do about it. Okay, I get that. Before GLP-1, you really like don't understand the depth. But once you get on a GLP-1 and you find that relief. At least I'm assuming she did, because I don't know if she ever did with being on GLP-1. Was she still hinging? Does anybody know? But for some of us, we find relief. Some of us don't. It is like, did it not become clear to you that you don't get to trigger on purpose your sensitivities? Do y'all understand what I'm trying to say? Trigger warning. Okay, I know this is going to come off as insensitive, but you never know who may be listening that could use some sort of guidance on this, or maybe not guidance, but like perspective. You don't get to play lackadaisical with your triggers when you come off of a GLP-1. I don't even think you get to play lackadaisical with your triggers on a GLP-1. Like, you playing with fire, but the GLP-1 will hold you up. It will for a certain amount of time. It'll hold you up. But once you titrate down, for the first couple of weeks, or you get off of it, you don't get to play around with your triggers. You don't get to play around with old habits. That should be abundantly clear. And I'm trying to understand, like, at what point did you realize your crutch is gone and you have to play by a new set of rules? She never stopped, 3 to 4 days a week for her. While on a GLP-1, I can't confirm or deny, but I'm gonna just say that's the information that we have. You have to keep up with the same healthy lifestyle changes you made while on it. People tend to not do that, hence the weight gain coming back. Of course. I mean, I feel that way. I feel that way. I think people just say like, "Oh, you get off, the weight comes back." Yeah, but it's like, why? Like, we know that once your appetite and hunger and food noise is suppressed, you pop that. Since when do you just get to stop taking a medication? Any other medication, they tell you to wean off of it. Unless it's an emergency or a surgery or something like that, then you have to stop it immediately. But it's like any other medication, it is ill-advised to just stop cold turkey. But with GLP-1s, we make it seem like it's such a surprise that if you stop cold turkey, the weight comes back. Yeah, because you're gonna eat everything in sight because your appetite has been suppressed for so long. Like, whatever. Self-diagnosed. So does that mean she's not seeking treatment? I'm not trying to diagnose her. She says she has this thing. We have to remember she didn't change her eating habits. So no shot and no change of diet is a recipe for disaster. We're going to get into that. That's where I'm leading up to. You don't get to. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. That's Sujak Jin. There is another one that didn't change hers either. Yeah. I surely didn't. I never had suppression. I just ate till I felt it was enough. Okay. She did it every weekend, Friday to Sunday, even when on the medication. So this is okay. Am I being insensitive? Y'all can let me know. You can let me know. Am I being insensitive to say that like some of this is okay? I don't want to put Delilah on the spot because I know Delilah still struggles to some extent. But like, if you don't mind, Delilah, you're seeking treatment, right? And when you got on Manjaro, it didn't fully resolve your issues with whatever uh with your ED. If I'm not mistaken, it didn't fully resolve. Do you have to like put parameters in place to kind of limit how often you have those moments of weakness? You can let me know. You can let me know. Cause in my mind, this is okay. This is how it works out for me. So I never got diagnosed. I never got diagnosed with any type of ED or anything. But I have symptoms, so I just say that I have symptoms of, right? But I never got diagnosed. So I never got diagnosed because I didn't seek treatment for it, right? And when I got on GLP-1s, my eating significantly improved. But it didn't I didn't make a complete 180. Like I was still eating a lot of the same stuff, just less of it. Over time, it became apparent that I wasn't going to be as successful as I wanted to be if my habits didn't change, if my behaviors didn't change, if my certain parts of my diet didn't change. But it was a struggle. It was a struggle, but it became apparent that I had to make some of these changes. And like I said, when I titrated down and all of the hunger and the appetite and the cravings came back, with me knowing that weight gain is a risk, I mean, it's damn near inevitable to some extent. It's like, okay, some of the old fashioned stuff is gonna like still works though. It may not work as a standalone treatment, right? Like calorie cutting as a standalone, or uh high protein as a standalone, or high fat keto as a standalone, or fasting as a standalone. But if you add these pieces together, they form some sort of, system that may work. If that makes sense. Am I like blabbering, or is that making sense? So the way that that worked out for me was like I have no control over this food noise. So I have to be deliberate about what I pick to respond to it. I know I want cookies. I cannot have the cookies. Like I had the cookies and I ate the whole pack, a family pack in 3 days. Okay, now we know I cannot have the cookies around. On a 10 milligram, I can have the cookies around. I'm only gonna have like two or three. I can have them around. Now that I've titrated down, they cannot be around. They can't. I can't have them. I learned the hard way. I will eat the whole pack. I will eat enough for a family. I will. Okay. So that's one thing. The eating out. I can't eat out. I can eat out, but I have to limit how much I'm eating out, because if I'm not careful, I will eat out multiple times a week and I will snack on top of the eating out. I have to cook my own food. I have to plan to cook my own food, because if I don't, I'm going to eat out 4 or 5 days a week. I have to exercise. I have to lift weights and lift heavy 2 to 3 days a week, because if I don't, the sugar, the carb, like whatever carbs and sugar I'm eating is going to get the best of me. I have to increase my protein. I cannot be living on 30 grams of protein. I have to get my protein in, because if I don't, my appetite is going to get the best of me. So, again, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I got through it. My way worked for me. The point that I'm trying to make is y- like this is a sliding scale. So let's say before GLP-1, you learn that certain things are triggers and you just can't have certain things in the house. Then you get on a GLP-1 and you still feel like you can't quite have those things around, but you can indulge a little bit. And if you get there, if it fits into your lifestyle, like for me personally, I started to get comfortable with on a 10 milligram with having certain foods around that I would never have around. But on a 10 milligram, I wasn't able to overindulge. So it was fine to have these things around. Plus, I wasn't overly interested anyway. Once that crutch was removed, I had to change the rules again. I had to change the rules again. So it's like that's what Jasmine isn't understanding. Girl, what worked for you before ain't working now. You can't play by those rules no more. You can't. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Y'all are gonna see why I'm so animated about it. She's gonna explain it. But let me get caught up on y'all comments. Okay. So Delilah said correct, V. Okay. Jen says it seems like her subs try to help her. If she was being honest, it would be helpful. Okay. Absolutely. David and I have an agreement that we can have a quote unquote treat meal on the weekend, and we work hard to make it one thing, not all freaking day or weekend. Wonderful, Delilah. It's like me and my once a week coffee. I only do it because y'all bully me. Well, okay, one, originally it was my idea. So I would limit my coffee by one not using my credit or debit card, I would get a gift card. 2, only go once a week, then I can have whatever coffee I want. If it's sweet, it's sweet, damn it. Okay? I actually started doing something recently, but I'm gonna stop because it's just too much sugar. Where if I wanted to get a coffee cake from Starbucks, I got my coffee without sugar. So I would have a latte with just milk, no sugar, but I would indulge in a coffee cake, and it's good. It's good. I was kind of getting out of hand, so we gonna slow down on that. But thank you for sharing, Delilah. Strongly feel like you should have been in therapy for that issue before starting a GLP-1, or at least while on it. The doc should have made that a requirement because it's not going to get better if it keeps getting pushed back. Um, maybe, maybe. I mean, I'm already in the thick of it. So, wait, did you say requirement? You should have been at the yeah, voluntarily, yes. Requirement, we talked about that with Ali. Ali got a lot of pushback for saying that she thought that therapy should be a requirement for getting on a GLP-1. And she said for the exact same reasons you're saying, Shonda. And honestly, I disagreed. I disagreed because I feel like the GLP-1s are a tool to assist in that overall therapy. So I still think therapy is important for behavior. I love cognitive behavioral therapy. I love it. Like when you really focus on your lifestyle and changing your habits, and knowing your triggers and all of that, it's very deliberate. It's very intentional. You have to do the work, like literal work, not just woo woo do the work. Like I'm doing the work. You got to do the work. Like people say that and don't really have no substance to it. But with CBT, you literally have objectives and you have challenges and you have to actually do the work to develop better habits. I even recently got a coach because I need help because I am 100% diagnosed with things that keep me in this freaking cycle. I think that'll be wonderful. Thank you for saying the quiet part out loud, Delilah. That was my problem. My cheat day turned into a cheat weekend. Cheat weekend turned into a cheat week turned into a cheat month. Yes. We're gonna address that word cheat as well because we let to be okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. Cause we gotta rid ourselves of the word cheat, and I'm gonna tell you why. She's gonna use the word cheat, and I'm gonna tell you why we gotta rid ourselves of that terminology. Um, I'm always trying to help V. She's hard-headed as hell, but it's the listen, okay, clavicle check. Everybody stop what you're doing. Okay? This is important. Jennifer and audience, everyone. Okay? I am an Aries. I am the first sign of the zodiac. My sign is a ram. That is the definition of hard-headed. Have you seen the horns of a ram? Okay? That is the definition of a hard head. I come around eventually, though. I do. I come around eventually. But I am extremely hard headed. Extremely. I'm walking, though. I am doing that. That's why I don't allow desserts in my house at all. Absolutely. That's a strategy for a lot of people. We still have a choice in what we buy, regardless of food noise, and that choice have not been taken from us. You really have to implement healthy lifestyle changes. I agree. You can't help everyone though, especially if they don't want to hear it. Well, that's why, you know, I kind of give my input into the void. I don't expect my take to change anybody's mind, honestly. V, that's why I said treat. But I believe I agree with you, even though you haven't said no, no, no. Right, you said treat, and Paul said cheat, and I'm like, uh, yeah, we gotta rid ourselves of that because it keeps us trapped in a cycle, just like willpower. We're not gonna go down the willpower rabbit hole again, but the conventional wisdom, it it, it it keeps it's incomplete. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. I don't know nothing about that astrology BS. I know you hard headed because I'm a ram. Oh my! I'm trying. See who's being hard headed now. Who's being hard headed now? I'm trying to teach you something. I was born in the sign of the horns. Okay, the ram. We don't listen to nobody at first. We come around, but it takes time. You got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, Jen. You just don't give up on us. Don't give up on us. It takes a little time. Do you have an interview or collab with someone today? Sunday? Sunday. Oh God, it's 12 o'clock. Oh God, this is taking longer than I thought it was going to. I have a interview with Paul. I'll be on Paul's channel today. 6 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm gonna have to eventually get out of here to get some sleep. Okay, so let me stop chatting and get off my high horse, and let's get into what she has to say for herself.
So I will not say the actual word, but I have been struggling with my food, obviously. So at this point in the game, I have honestly pretty much completely switched gears. A few of you have mentioned a few times how it might be a good idea for me to take a break from trying to lose weight and maybe try to just focus on maintenance for a while. And
I have heard people say this, not heard, I'm sorry. I have read this in her comments before. Like, maybe just stop focusing on the weight loss and try to just stop the weight gain. Like, just maybe focus on maintenance for a little while. And I honestly don't think that's a bad strategy. I have used that in the past myself. So let's see where she goes from there.
And I, at this point, have decided that is what I'm going to do. I'm switching gears and I am basically at this point trying to just stop the weight gain and try to maintain for a bit, because I currently feel like the weight gain has started to get out of control and I just really want to like stop the weight gain from happening and just maintain. And so
Right. But that was the point. That's why I was emphasizing earlier. Like, at what point do you think it's too much? I think that's an important question that people need to ask themselves. There's no right answer. Like, I think 20 pounds is too much, but that doesn't mean that's the right answer. That's just, for me, that's way too much. It took her 30 pounds to feel like this was getting out of control. I think that that's I think that that's unreasonable. I do. I think that's unreasonable.
I feel like I need to take a break from actively trying to eat in a calorie deficit. So that is kind of the
Can somebody please square this circle for me? Please, 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 please. I was so confused at this part here because I think I know what's happening with her, but the way that she frames it, I'm just like, okay. Somebody riddle me this. Riddle me this. She's gained 30 pounds after getting off of a GLP-1. That's not a shocker. It happens to people. Some people gain 50, some people gain all of their weight back. Okay. But her answer is to take a break from being in a calorie deficit. Jen, you took the words out of my mouth. I promise me and Jen did not have this exchange right here. You literally just took the words out of my mouth. She's gaining weight on a quote unquote diet. So explain how this is going to work. That's exactly my point before I saw Jen say it in the chat. How are you? Okay, you're in a calorie deficit, but you gained 30 pounds. But she has been saying for months, she has been punching the air to people in her chat saying, as long as I stay in a calorie deficit, it'll be fine. As long as I stay in a calorie deficit, I can eat what I want. As long as I stay in a calorie deficit, I will lose the weight. I lost the weight at first, being in a calorie deficit. Calorie deficit, calorie deficit. As long as I track my calories, as long as I track my calories, as long as I'm in a calorie deficit. Okay, you win. That's the answer. That's the only answer. That's the only thing that matters. So riddle me this. Now that you've put 30 pounds on in your quote unquote calorie deficit, you think the answer is to take a break from the calorie deficit that you said was the answer. £10 weight gain will make me panic. Absolutely. That ain't no joke. I am traumatized by obesity. I'd be on somebody's corner before I get back over 200 pounds. No. She eats a lot of processed food, but I feel like she knows what she needs to do, but isn't ready for it yet. I think she just finds comfort in food. I don't blame her. There's no blame. Well, there's a little bit of blame. There's a little bit of blame. There is a little bit of blame. But I understand what you're saying, Journey of Life. But like, there's this like cognitive dissonance that's happening right before our eyes. And I know for a fact she doesn't see it. Like the stream. Sydney said like the stream or she gonna kick y'all out. All 50 of y'all. She says, please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you. Or she kicking y'all out. All of you are fired. And if you're new, drop a comment, drop down and leave us a comment, please. Yeah. Some people don't know how to cook though. Countess of shopping is one of them. You know, you're so nice, Journey of Life, but I'm not doing that with y'all. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it with them. Okay. I'm not. Listen, I relate to Jasmine. I say it less now. Like I say it more as a joke now, but I have also said my whole adult life, oh, I eat like a toddler and just normalize that. But then it gets to a point, like I said, even on the GLP-1 where it's like that's not an excuse. Not knowing how to cook is not an excuse. That's what air fryers are for. Not knowing how to cook is not an excuse. Having a toddler diet is not an excuse. And then she starts to gaslight and automatically jump to, I'm not going to eat a 100% whole foods diet. And it's like, who said that? You are the one not seeing success. When you said you had the recipe, you said you knew what you were doing. You said the people in your comments were wrong and that you were right and you knew what you were doing. And here we are 30 pounds later. It took 30 pounds for her to say, you know what? You know what? I think it's time to reevaluate. Mind you, she ain't even talking about the diet portion. Like the quality of what she's eating. She's still talking about the calories. But let's continue. Let me not ruin it. Let me not ruin it.
Mindset shift I've been trying to make, and it actually is so incredibly hard, you guys. Like I mean, when people say maintenance is harder than weight loss, I honestly understand what they mean, because it is really kind of a mind fuck to go from like eating in a calorie deficit for over 2 years, you know, tracking all my food and trying to hit a certain number, to then trying to eat a bit more than that, like with the intention of just maintaining my weight rather than losing weight. It is really kind of difficult because in my brain,
I'm still confused. She says she's gonna try to eat more to maintain her weight. I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't understand what she's talking about. Let me go back a little bit.
eat a bit more than that, like with over 2 years, you know, tracking all my food and trying to hit a certain number, to then trying to eat a bit more than that, like with the intention of just maintaining my weight rather than losing weight. It is really kind of difficult because in my brain, it's like when I'm eating a certain number of calories, it just feels like I'm overeating, even though
Right. So you probably are, dear. Like I'm not even trying to be funny. It you're saying, okay, I had this theory whenever the last time I reacted to her where I'm like, I don't think she's tracking accurately. I don't think she's being honest about how much she's eating. Either she's not being honest or she's not doing it right, or she's not tracking right because she's eating out on the weekends and there's no way to accurately track that. Like she's there's no way. I mean, I don't want to say there's no way, but like I just get this feeling that her tracking is off because she keeps saying, I'm tracking, I'm tracking, I'm tracking. And every week she's reporting weight gain. There's more to weight gain and weight loss than just calories. That is the point of being on a GLP-1 for some of us. Hello. There's more to weight loss and weight gain than just calories. And if she is suffering from insulin resistance, and thinking that 1,200 or 1,300 calories, whatever her deficit is, of processed junk is going to get her to where she needs to be. That is why she's regaining weight. You know what else is probably happening? She probably, like the rest of us, has wrecked her metabolism. And now she's probably at a point where she's been in a calorie deficit for so long that her potentially her metabolic rate has dropped below what she's eating, and now even being in a deficit is causing her to gain. That is the problem with the quote unquote calorie deficit, you know, before us being on GLP-1s. That's how people would stall out and then the weight would come back. Not only would they stop doing what worked, but sometimes even if they kept doing what worked, they couldn't keep losing the weight because uh their metabolic rate would get crushed. It would drop too low. So like it could be that, but I really think it's that she's not accurately tracking. I don't think she's accurately tracking. Nicole says she doesn't track on the weekends, then she needs to stop eating out on the weekends. Like it's hard to track fast food, right? But I still try. And I tend to overestimate my calories because it makes me feel better. Like if like there's no way to track if I eat. I mean, I could say 100 calories per wing or whatever, but just in case I'm off, which I probably am, like these apps are not completely accurate, especially if you can't scan a barcode. I try to like over guesstimate my calories so that whatever else I'm eating for the day, I do my best to try to not overeat. But that's extremely inaccurate. And I only do it once a week just to keep an eye on what I'm eating. Just to keep an eye on what I'm eating. She's not even trying to track on the weekends, and she knows every weekend she overeats. She needs to do something different with her weekends, but she refuses to do anything different with her weekends. So anyway, we're at the point where she's like, "Okay, I'm going to stop chasing weight loss. I'm going to stop with the calorie deficit," which honestly isn't even a bad idea. If you take the weight loss off your mind for a minute and you just focus on stopping the weight gain, eating a little bit more isn't even a bad thing. I'm challenging it because of her logic behind it. There's been a few different times on a GLP-1 where I've been under eating and not seeing weight loss, and then I would increase my calories and then the scale would drop. So there is something to that, but I don't think that that's her logic. She's just assuming that suddenly I'm going to eat at maintenance and that's supposed to do what? Like not cause any more weight gain? Well, with the way she's been eating, there's not a guarantee that this will stop her weight gain, but we'll have to see. Black Butterfly, hello, says at this point, I believe she needs to start at square one and see a dietitian or nutritionist. What she's saying doesn't quite make sense. Absolutely. Ask for help. I said I didn't seek help. That's not true. I did see a dietitian, but a dietitian wasn't to address an ED. It was to make sure I was eating enough, make sure I was making the right choices, making sure I was compromising in the right way. That's what my dietitian was for. And it actually was really helpful. It really was. Shorty's back. Hello, says she cuts her calories for weekdays and her weekends she adds like 300 to 400 extra calories to make up. I think it's screwing her up bad. It's too much diet, no diet, in my opinion. Yes, she's gonna cover that. And my head almost fell off my shoulders. She says it kind of quick and flippantly. Let's see if we could get to that part. If you haven't already, please like the stream and subscribe. You know you want to.
In reality, like that is what my maintenance calories are. And I will say, since I've gained a bit of weight now and I am at 230.
A bit is an understatement. And I'm not trying to be mean, but we need to be realistic. A bit is an understatement.
My maintenance calories have changed from when I was like in the 190s. They're a little bit more. And so it is kind of different to go from trying to aim to eat 1,400 calories a day to now.
Aw, thank you, Sydney. We are still in the season of Pisces, but I am gonna forgive you because I love you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Sydney says, happy birthday, V. Listen. Let me go ahead and tell y'all something. Let me just go ahead and take a whole minute to just let y'all know when it is my birthday, y'all will not hear the end of it. I was fairly like modest on my birthday last year. I don't even think I did a live stream on my birthday last year because I was busy sitting poolside in Mexico in my cabana. Okay. But this year, y'all might not hear the end of it when it's my birthday. I might not be satisfied until my entire coffee budget for the trip has been achieved. Europe is expensive, y'all. But thank you, Sydney. Sydney said happy birthday first, y'all. Jen says a nutritionist is gonna tell her to leave fast food and processed food alone. Let's continue.
Eating more so around 2000. It's a big change and it's a big mental shift I'm having to make because in my brain it feels like I'm overeating, and whenever I feel like I'm overeating, I feel like that can be kind of a trigger for me to then proceed to really overeat because I feel like I've already like fucked up essentially. So
right, so if you know that, like, here's where that accountability comes in again. I know a lot of us have struggled with this, turning a cheat meal into a cheat week or month. I have done that several times, but there comes a time where you have to make a decision to stop the cycle. GLP-1 or not, there comes a time, because we always reach that time where we're like, okay, enough. And then we try again, and then we fall off track, and then we stay off track, and then we try again. So we're all capable of, intervening. It's just a matter of being accountable for how soon we choose to intervene. So she knows all of these things. She's aware of it, but she's choosing to do the same thing week after week after week.
Yeah. It's been kind of an adjustment, and I've only really been trying to hit my maintenance calories here for like the past couple of days, honestly. Like prior to that, I was still trying to eat in a deficit like Monday through Friday, and then the weekends would always be my downfall. Usually it'd be more like Friday, Saturday, Sunday would be my downfall, and when I would like kind of go off the deep end.
So you mean to tell me, this lady that's trying to lose weight for 4 days of the week would remain in a deficit and then overeat for 3 days out of the week? I don't think that carb cycling is a bad thing. In fact, I do that. I eat more calories on the days that I hit the gym. In fact, I save my days that I eat out for days that I know I'm hitting the gym hard because it kind of blunts some of that insulin spike that I may get from the fast food. You mean to tell me? But with that being said though, that's 1 day out of the week. That's 1 day out of the week. And carb cycling, if you're gonna carb cycle with horrible foods, okay, maybe not horrible. If you're gonna carb cycle with foods that may be sabotaging your progress, what is the point of what is the point of I'm saying carb cycling? What is the point of calorie cycling? What is a Jen, Jennifer, Jen, Jen. Every time I question how like harsh I may be being, you remind me that you're so much worse. Because that is actually a good point. But I wouldn't have said that, and I wouldn't have said it that way. Jen says her mental health is fine Monday through Thursday. Because that's actually a great question. That's actually a great question. That's not actually how mental health works. Granted, I don't doubt that she struggles, but like she uses the weekend as an excuse to indulge in her struggle. Accountability. Hormones? Yes, out of whack. Struggle, mental health? Yes, a challenge. But she's clearly, intentionally, deliberately using her weekends, justifying overeating. She just expressed that. So she would have to square the circle by explaining why. Okay, let me tell y'all something. This was my experience. If I was gonna have a hinge day, it would be random. It wasn't a scheduled hinge. She's having scheduled hinges. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? She's having scheduled hinges. She's having scheduled periods of overeating. Typically, in my mind, people that struggle with this sort of thing, it happens randomly. Like you randomly get stressed out at work. You randomly get emotional about something in your relationship or something in your personal life. You randomly have a bad day in traffic. Like the triggers happen randomly. You don't schedule the poor eating for 3 days out of the week and then spend the three days overeating poorly. And you're doing that on purpose. That is intentional. You are being accountable, hypothetically, for 4 days, Monday through Thursday. And then suddenly Friday through Sunday, everything just why can't we just repeat Monday through Thursday all the way until Sunday? That's a thought. If you are doing the right thing, hypothetically, because we don't know, if you're doing the right thing Monday through Friday, I mean, Monday through Thursday, why can't we turn that into, let's say, Monday through Saturday? That's a choice. I mean, me personally, I had to make a choice in order to rein in my eating out. I had to make a choice to commit to only eating out once a week. That was the first choice. And then in order to make cooking as simple as possible or eating at home as simple as possible, I had to make a choice to repeat my meals multiple days out of the week. Like just pick 3 things that I want to eat and eat the same thing every day to simplify it. So if I'm doing it Monday through Thursday, which is my work week is Monday through Thursday. If I'm doing it Monday through Thursday, I just push it to Saturday. Or for me, typically it works out Monday through Thursday. I'm eating at home. Friday, I hit the gym. I'll probably eat out because of a busy day. And then Saturday, Sunday, I'm back to eating at home. That's how it works out for me. But it's like, Jen, I don't like you. Jen, I don't like you. You know what, Journey of Life, I don't think it's that she's not ready to lose weight. I think that she thinks she knows everything. And I know because I've been there. I'm still there sometimes. But I'm quicker to change than her. We are very similar. Me and Jasmine are very similar. But like, because I'm a little vain, I'm quicker to change because I want to look good. I want to feel good. Like I want to be able to go shopping and not struggle. I want to be able to, I want to be comfortable with my skin. I want to be able to like, you know, be lighter on my feet, have more options. Like I'm vain. I want these things. I want these things. I want my pre-diabetes reversed, you know, all the medical stuff and all of that, but like the vanity of it all. So I'm stubborn, but I'm quicker to get around to the change portion. It took her 30 pounds of regain to get there, and she's not even quite there yet. And it's because she's a know-it-all. Like she thinks she knows. And it's like, but did you ever stop to consider that you might be wrong? Or if you were right at one point, whatever you were right about and it worked for you before, it's not working anymore. So you need to do something different. You want to hear the truth? I am that friend uh you don't ask. I wait, what? I tell me don't ask my opinion. I'm probably worse than oh yeah, don't ask if you don't want me to know. Well, if you don't want to know the truth. Cookies and broccoli don't digest the same way, especially if you want to say there's no difference in your calories if you're in a calorie deficit. I am so vain, like for real. Yeah, so with her calorie deficit thing, like, oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Well, now that it doesn't matter what I eat. Those Tostinos pizzas are coming back to bite her in the ass. But let's continue.
And so another thing I'm doing kind of differently is I am no longer like calorie cycling. I use My Nut Diary to track my calories and what
I'm so sorry. I know I keep stopping it. The first thing out of her mouth should have been, I'm reducing my eating out and drinking out from 3 days a week to 1 day or to no days. Like I'm gonna do 30 days where I don't eat out or drink. Like the eating out and the drinking should have been the first to go. But let's continue.
Doing before is I would have a certain amount of calories like Monday through Friday, and then I would make it to where I would have a little bit more calories on the weekends, so that way I had
Trust me, a little bit more is a lot more. A little bit more is a lot more.
more of like wiggle room for like a cheat meal or something like that. And so
And there it is, the cheat meal. She said it. I was waiting for her to say that, the cheat meal. I don't have cheat meals. I may joke and say I cheat, but it really is a joke. I don't believe in cheat meals. I eat what I want, and it has taken a very long time to understand that as a concept. And I'm not gonna lie, Jen, you're one of the people that helped me with that, like indirectly. I don't I don't believe in cheat meals. I just eat what I want. Okay, but there's a caveat to that, right? There's context behind that. I don't eat what I want when I want. Like I don't always eat what I want, but I eat what I want. I eat what I want. I don't eat it all the time. I limit how much I eat what I want, but I eat what I want. I eat what I want. I limit the amount of times or I limit certain things, certain triggers to certain environments. So I still deal with that, right? Like I go back to my old neighborhood and like clockwork, I'm pulling up to the McDonald's drive-through. I could not have McDonald's for 6 months. The second I'm back in my old neighborhood, without even thinking about it, I'm pulling into the McDonald's drive-through for a coffee and some French fries because it's just a pattern that's seared into my brain for that particular environment. It's a trigger that just like that, without me even thinking about it. I mean, I'll go home. Well, not it's not home anymore, but I'll go back to my old neighborhood. And as I'm pulling out of the McDonald's, I'll be like, shit, I did it again. God damn it. Be like, God damn it, I did it again. Like I got over here and I made a beeline for the McDonald's. So it's like it is a struggle, but the accountability portion comes into the decision making. You have a choice in the matter. And There doesn't need to be any such thing as a cheat meal. Identify your triggers and no, you cannot indulge in your triggers just whenever you want to. You can't indulge in your triggers whenever you want to. Those rules don't apply to you. You're not a regular person. We are not regular people. We are fat people. Like, and I mean mentally and emotionally. We do big back stuff. So we have to limit our triggers as much as possible. You really did open your eyes to a lot, V. I did. Because the idea of just saying, like, I don't restrict food groups, I just eat what I want. I used to get so frustrated when people would say that, like, because I really didn't understand how you could be like that. Like, I'm like, I can't live like that. I can't just eat what I want. But the reality is, I can eat what I want. I just have to be very deliberate about when. And I don't think that that's unreasonable. I have to be very deliberate about when. I have to be very deliberate about the fact that I cannot have Chinese food every weekend. I have to be very deliberate about the fact that I cannot have a milkshake 5 times a week. I probably have a milkshake like once every few months, honestly. I have to be deliberate about the fact that I can't have cookies in my house, but if I go out for dinner and there's a cookie on a dessert menu and I want it, I can have it. I can't have breakfast cereal in my house, but if I go on vacation and I stay at a hotel and they have breakfast cereal and I want it, I can have it. For years, I stopped even buying Starbucks outside of the airport. Like I would save Starbucks for my 2 vacations a year. I would get it at the airport as I'm departing. It was like my favorite part of my day. Like it was more exciting than a trip itself. I cannot wait to get to Starbucks. Or I cannot wait to get to the airport so I can finally have Starbucks. I haven't had Starbucks in 6 months. That was the old me. I'm an addict. Okay, I'm an addict now. Like I've indulged and I'm trying to like learn how to stop indulging. But I'm just saying, like, so these are the barriers that I have set up for myself and they work, you know? They work. But when I try to convince myself that I'm a regular person and I can just have a coffee cake at Starbucks every day, no, I can't. No, I can't. No. Everything in moderation. Yeah, that used to irritate my soul when people would say that. Because moderation is a funny word. Some people look at moderation as I can buy a bag of M&Ms and have one serving every day. That's moderation to some people. That ain't moderation to me. No, that ain't moderation to me. Moderation to me is I can have M&Ms the 1 to 3 times a year that I go to the movies. I can have some sort of candy. That's moderation to me. So I used to really get frustrated with the word moderation because I'm like, I can't just have snacks in my house and put a little bit on a bowl or a plate and just eat that and be done. I, I can't do that. But I had to figure out what moderation meant for me and to realize you have triggers. This is just the way it is, GLP-1 or not, you have triggers and you have to take those triggers seriously. And that's just what it is.
Again, I was finding that on the weekends when I was given, a bit more calories that I could eat, I would eat those calories, but then feel
She's lying to herself. She keeps see, this is the delusion. She keeps saying a bit more calories. Okay. If let's say her deficit is 1,300 calories. The second you choose to eat out on the weekend, you're blowing past 2,000. That's not a bit more. Like a bit more is, oh, I eat 1,300 calories Monday through Thursday, and then Friday through Sunday, I eat 1,550. That is a bit more. That's a bit more. But if you're eating 1,300 calories Monday through Thursday and Friday through Sunday, you're eating 3,500 calories because you got to include the alcohol, you got to include the eating out, and whatever other junk food comes with that. That ain't a bit. Even if you're going from 1,300 to 2,200, which I highly doubt when you consider eating out. Like, I don't know a fast food meal that's less than 1,000 calories for a whole meal, 800 calories. So it's just like it's not a bit. It's you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself.
like I was overdoing it because it was quite a bit more than I was used to eating throughout the week. And I feel like whenever I feel like I am overeating, it just kind of triggers me to actually overeat a lot more than that. And so I think
That's not funny though. Like that's a real struggle. And if you know that's your struggle, then how about stop doing the same thing over and over again every single weekend?
that was kind of not really helpful for me doing the cycling like that. So I have switched it to where I'm now just eating like relatively the same amount of calories every single day, and it is my maintenance calories that I'm trying to hit every day. And so that way there's not such a big, you know, swing that can like trigger me to want to overeat. Kind of find
I'm really not sure how this is gonna work out for her, but I will try to keep an eye out to see how she's doing, because I wouldn't be surprised if eating more, since she's been in a deficit for so long, I wouldn't be surprised if eating more at first leads to, you know, some weight loss, because that has happened to me, you know, before, when your body's trying to balance everything out. However, she should be more focused on the quality of her calories than the actual amount. Like, I don't think her issue is just the amount of calories, but when your protein mostly comes from processed protein brownies and protein cookies and protein cereals and juices and eating out on the weekends and alcohol, like, girl, no. No, that 2000 ain't gonna mean nothing if it's coming from all of that. And we're gonna get back to the, oh, people don't know how to cook thing, because listen, if you can't throw some chicken in the air fryer, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you can't throw some chicken or some fish or some steak, whatever you like to eat, if you can't throw, like, she cannot possibly have a 100% flour based diet. Is that what y'all telling me? Everything that she eats is made with flour and rice, flour and rice. That's all she eats. So different breads, pastas, pastries, cereals. So corn, flour, and rice. She has a 90% starch diet. That can't be right. There's a disconnect about what happens on the weekends, almost like she's telling a story about someone else. I believe that. I believe that.
funny. I've had a few people now who've asked me basically if I find that when I'm stressed, the food noise is louder. And I just want to say, like, absolutely. And I
That happens to everybody. You're not special.
feel like that has been contributing so much to my weight gain here recently. I have had a lot of stress in my personal life and a lot of things going on, and I definitely turn to food in times of stress. And I feel like when I was on a GLP-1, obviously that for the most part took care of the food noise. So even in times when I was stressed, I wasn't turning to food because I wasn't getting the same dopamine hit from the food. So it wasn't really like fixing anything for me emotionally. Obviously, eating food doesn't actually fix anything, but when you are someone who finds comfort in food in the moment, it can feel like it is fixing things. And it's solely just like a coping mechanism. But yeah, I feel like since coming off the GLP-1 though, I've definitely noticed that my tendencies to turn to food in times of stress have come back tenfold. So yeah, I just, like I said, I wanted to kind of update you guys. I feel like
Right. So basically, she wants to keep the same habits that she had before and during a GLP-1. That's basically what it is. So she had certain habits before GLP-1 and she saw some success in weight loss. She got on the GLP-1 and she kept those same habits and continued to see success, but the game has changed. Now she's off of a GLP-1. She has more challenges because the hunger and all of that is kind of more significant than before you started in the first place. And she wants to be able to live the same life. Like, she wants to be able to play by the same rules, and I just think that that's ridiculous. I think that that's just I think that that's ridiculous. And when it comes to like the GLP-1 space, I think that, like I said, I think it's very cliquish, okay? I think it's very cliquish, which is, I mean, it's fine. It's not really that big of a deal. But like, I don't think a person not changing their diet but still expecting results is the only level of delusion. It's just one of many examples. We don't have time tonight to go into all of the examples, but that was one. I pretty much think she was done explaining, but let me just double check and see if she says anything else.
do kind of owe a little bit of transparency to those of you who have been following me and have been rooting for me and cheering me on this whole time. And again, I understand if people are disappointed, and I myself am disappointed. But this is just kind of like real life, you know, and on a weight loss journey, like they say weight loss isn't linear, and honestly, like it is so beyond true because there
Well, okay, no, that does not apply to, oh God, see, this is what I'm talking about. That does not apply to a 30-pound regain. Saying that weight loss is not linear does not apply to a 30-pound regain. That's like losing 15 pounds, then regaining 3, then losing 4, then losing 1, then regaining 2, then losing 5, then regaining half a pound, then maybe not losing any weight, stalling out for some time, and then 3 months later losing another 3 or 2, and then you regain 1. That is what people mean by weight loss is not linear. No, that's what people means. It doesn't mean stop losing weight and regain 30 pounds. Like you're only, week after week, the only update is weight gain. That's not what that means. If she had better protein intake, she'd probably see way better results. The protein, processed foods, and chicken nuggets all the time is keeping her too hungry throughout the day. I would agree. When she was on the shot, did she diet or go with the flow? The people that watch her would have to chime in, but as far as I know, her diet remained the same, which is, I mean, is she dieting? I don't know what she's doing.
There are so many ups and downs and different seasons of life that we go through. And particularly as women, I feel like there's so many different seasons we go through in life with our bodies and hormones and things that happen.
Sure. Word salad. I get what you're trying to say, but this is simply a word salad of excuses. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's what this is.
To us, and so there's periods of time where weight loss is more doable and periods of time where it's just not. And I'm definitely in a season of my life right now where weight loss is just not doable for me.
But why though? Just out of curiosity. She's saying that she can't lose weight, but she's refusing to take any level of accountability of what she's doing to cause the weight gain. Let me ask y'all something. Did anybody hear her explain what was causing I mean, we know, if you can read between the lines, we know like she's clearly overeating, and she's like halfway admitting to overeating only on the weekends, as if that makes any sense. But anyway, did anybody hear any level of accountability? Like, okay, maybe I should stop with the fast food, or okay, yes, maybe y'all were right about the processed food. Okay, maybe I'm not tracking as accurately, or okay, maybe I need to reduce the alcohol. I didn't hear none of that. I didn't hear anything she feels like she should do differently except eat more. All I heard her say is that she thinks she should eat more. Okay, sure.
At the moment, but I definitely plan to continue this journey in the future when I am able to. But yeah, I think right now I just really need to try to pump the brakes and get the weight gain to stop, and to kind of try to maintain for a bit, because I really did work so hard to lose the 150 pounds I lost, and to see it like slowly creeping back on the scale, it's just very concerning. And obviously I'm still nowhere close to where I started out at over 340 pounds. Even at 230, I am still over 100 pounds down from my heaviest weight, but I definitely never want to get anywhere close to 300 pounds again. It's just not a fun place to be and not somewhere I want to be. So I feel like I need to just take this time to kind of figure out maintenance and how I can actually sustainably live my life in my current body. And that's the thing. I feel like even when I'm able to continue my weight loss journey again, and even when I do get down to my ultimate goal weight, there will come a point in time where I will have to learn how to maintain that and how to do it in a way that is sustainable. And I feel like that is kind of my goal now, is just to figure out what maintenance actually looks like, because I don't think I've ever had a period of time.
Imagine regaining 30 pounds and talking about figuring out what maintenance looks like. That is ridiculous. I mean, maybe not ridiculous, but that is diabolical. That's an interesting take. That is an interesting take. I'm going to figure out what maintenance means after regaining 30 pounds. Okay. All right. Maybe because you know what? This would have made more sense 30 pounds ago. Like if she realized she couldn't lose any more weight and just be like, you know what? I'm just going to pause right here. No, it took 30 pounds of regain for her to be like, you know what? I'm just going to take a break. Okay.
In my adult life that I can remember where I've actively consciously lived in maintenance. I feel like I've always either been on a conscious weight loss journey, or I've been actively gaining weight and just not really paying attention to what I'm eating at all and just kind of eating whatever I want and gaining weight in the process. Like there's never really been a period of time where I've just kind of stayed a consistent weight without like actively trying or like tracking anything, at least not in my adult life. You know, maybe like as a young child or a teenager, I guess I kind of wasn't as mindful of what I was eating. But as an adult, I feel like if I haven't been mindfully like tracking to lose weight, then I have been actively gaining weight. There is no like in between. So as far as what to expect from this channel going forward, I do definitely want to keep up with the weekly vlogs because you enjoy watching them. If I wasn't on a weight loss journey, which means a lot to me because, you know, I'm in like the weight loss niche. And I feel like when you're on dedicate your content to a specific niche, will follow you for a specific like your content. Just debating on if I want to continue doing the what I eat, try to like maintain my weight. So kind of debating on that. And as far as grocery hauls, I might still share some grocery hauls. I feel like I tend to get a lot of kind of negative criticism on a lot of my grocery hauls. I just want to reiterate the fact that, you guys, I am not like a nutritionist, and I've never claimed to be like a super healthy eater who just knows everything about nutrition. Like, obviously not. And I have shared many times.
Oh my God. I am so sick of her using the same excuse over and over again. I never claimed to be an expert. I never claimed to be a nutritionist. I admit that I eat like a toddler. What do you want from me? What I want is for you to stop acting surprised by your weight gain when you're not even trying to do something different. Like with her, if she does have PCOS and stress and all of that, yes, those things are contributors. But like I would have more sympathy toward that if she wasn't so blatantly dismissive of the obvious changes that she could make. PCOS is somewhat out of your control. And you know what helps PCOS as well? Weight loss and reversing insulin resistance. That helps PCOS. But putting on 30 pounds, you know what that's going to do? Exacerbate PCOS. So it's like you're back at square one. You're back at square one of taking accountability for your actions. And it's like, it's different when you just see a random person on the street and say, that person's not accountable. Like, it's like, okay, you don't know what's going on with that person. But when a person documents this and puts it out there for people to see, then it's like, oh, you're just deliberately dismissing the obvious. You're just gonna completely 100% on purpose overlook the obvious. Okay, if you say so.
That I very much have the palate of a toddler, and you know that's just me. That's just how I eat, and so I share my grocery.
That's just me. That's just how I eat. And yes, that's why you gained 30 pounds. Like, I know that sounds harsh, but it is what it is. It's like, I know this because I struggled with extremely slow weight loss being on a GLP-1. You know why? Because it took me forever to change my diet. It took me forever to stop eating out. It took me forever to realize, hey, you might be overeating still. It took me forever to admit these things. But man, since just letting go and being honest, yeah, I've seen nothing but success. Even when I had the minor setback of the food noise during titrating down, like had I not been honest with myself, I would have gained 20, 30 pounds back. Like I'd be over 10 pounds up by now. And I'm a month and a half into my 7.5 milligrams. So it's just like she's blatantly dismissing the obvious and leaning on this. Yes, I know I have a toddler diet. And it's like it just gives me the ick because I know I've said that in the past, but it's like, okay, so you like frozen chicken tenders. You're telling me you can't like cut up some chicken breast and throw that in the air fryer or a pan or an oven? Like, okay, so you like, processed protein meals. You can't like turn some of that into some like fish or some beef? Even if you like pasta, with some pasta or rice? Listen, people could tell me to eat greens till I'm blue in the face. I'll eat them when I feel like it. And I'm 30 and I haven't felt like it yet. So it's just like, you know, if something comes up in my life that's like, oh, well, this is coming up because you don't eat vegetables. And it's like, okay, that's something that I have to live with and deal with and then make a choice to change my mind about that or not. But like, whatever my health journeys have been throughout my life, none of it has been blunted by my lack of, produce in my life. But could I be better off with it? Yes. Is it a choice that I don't eat it? Also, yes. Do I know it could benefit me? Yes. Do I still choose to not indulge or not incorporate that into my life? Yeah, mostly. So I understand her, but she's like missing the extra piece where it's like, okay, but there's a middle point between completely whole foods and completely processed. She's on the end of completely processed. And her excuse is, well, I'm not gonna be completely whole foods. Yeah, but girl, there's a part in the middle. Like there's a place in the middle for you. There is a place in the middle, and she's in denial about it.
hauls for people who find them helpful or who just find them interesting, but like in a non-judgmental way. So I don't know, I might continue those, I might not, just kind of depending on what the vibes are. Like it honestly sucks to work really hard to create content and certain people just kind of like shit on it, you know, and so it makes it hard for me to feel motivated to continue to put out that content when that happens. But we'll see, because I do know I've had a few people tell me that they do find my grocery hauls, you know, helpful or whatever. So yeah, we will see. I really don't know, but at this point, like I said, I do want to keep up with the weekly vlogs just because I
Let's see if we could find one of her grocery hauls real quick. We broke one down before, but for those that missed it, let's just see if we can find one really quickly. Oh, she just turned 30. We're the same age. Massive grocery haul.
So today we are doing a super impromptu video. I just got a massive grocery haul that I picked. Loves blackberries. Kids are expensive, man, and no one tells you how much like a pre-workout snack.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, we gotta go all the way back. Okay, strap in,
Get all my
y'all.
cold stuff
This is the last video we're gonna cover before we get out of here.
put away. First and foremost, we have good old parchment paper. I know that's really interesting. I picked up a thing of my Downy.
That's not groceries. Like, girl, like this is, oh God, okay, this is a complete and utter segue. Just please ignore me. But like, why are we doing the household stuff in a grocery haul? Like that is so annoying. Oh God, but it's the way vloggers do things. So let me just shut up and let her go.
Scent beads, you guys already know this is my absolute favorite scent, the white lavender. Picked into some cold stuff. I picked up some protein waffles. Honestly, these are mostly for my daughter. I don't really eat those.
The protein waffles are for her. Okay.
But she loves them. And then I picked up some of these Oreo ice cream sandwiches.
Let's go back. I'm sorry, one more time. We're gonna, because I asked, did she eat a 100% flour-based diet? So let's find out.
These are mostly for my daughter. I don't really eat those.
She said I don't really eat them, so she may eat sometimes. So that's flour.
But she loves them. And then I picked up some of these Oreo ice cream sandwiches. These are the GOAT when it comes to ice cream sandwiches.
They really are. They're delicious.
They're just a perfect little sweet treat for me at night. They're only 200.
Perfect little sweet treat for me at night. See, no, girl, you don't get to, oh my God. When you're not being honest with yourself, you don't get to be the sweet treat at night, girl. Like you don't, when you don't have your hinging under control, you do not get to I'm sorry, you don't get to be the sweet treat at night, girl. You don't get to do that. That sounds so unfair, but it is reality. As a person that struggles, like I couldn't have that in my house. Maybe once a year. Maybe once a year I'll indulge, but like I couldn't just pick that up on a grocery trip. Unless it was like a deliberate, okay, I know this is the one time or the second time this year, second is a reach, but the one time this year that I'm going to buy this particular box of, you know, ice cream sandwiches. You don't get to be the snack at night, girl. You don't get to do that. Not when you're struggling this bad. But when you start to heal some of that relationship with food, then maybe you get to decide if that trigger is worth it or not. You get to decide if that trigger is worth it or not once you heal a little bit. Like, girl, come on.
10 calories. And yeah, as an Oreo
210 calories, but it's 100% sugar though. Like, oh my God.
11 girl, they just really hit the spot. Picked up some turkey sausage, again for my daughter, because she likes these. Sorry, you guys.
So the protein, not for her. So the first two processed protein meals are not even for her. The sausage, okay, I'm gonna just let that go. But they're not for her, so it doesn't matter.
Guys, I just realized my head was being cut off, so hopefully y'all can see me better. Next, we picked up some whole milk for my daughter.
Okay, Where's the food that she's gonna eat?
Where the fruit things come open in the back. Picked up 2 things of blackberries.
Fruit, okay.
Also for my daughter, she loves blackberries.
Okay, they're not for her, never mind.
Kids are expensive, man, and no one tells you how much, like, kids are expensive to feed, and yeah. I picked up some sour cream. This is gonna be used to make my daughter's birthday cake.
I'm sorry, is this a daughter birthday grocery haul? I'm so confused. It says realistic grocery haul for weight loss. How? How?
Which is gonna be next weekend. I'll be making that. I picked up some of these HEB fully cooked chicken tenders, chicken breast tenders. They're like the kinds that they used to make in like the deli. If any of you guys are from Texas, I don't know if
She's gonna go into a whole fucking explanation about some pre-cooked chicken tenders. No, we're not doing that. All right, so the protein, okay.
those. Picked up some unsalted butter also for the cake I'm gonna be baking. I picked up a block of mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna use this to make some homemade pizza one day this week.
Homemade pizza, flour. Okay. I mean, I'm down for some homemade pizza, but I'm really trying to understand how she shops. So more flour. Okay.
Picked up a thing of raspberries also for my daughter. I got a bag of HEB Texas dippers. These are just corn chips, basically.
Okay, corn, check. So I said flour, corn, and rice. That's what I said. All right, so we got flour and corn, check.
I got a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This is my favorite cereal, and yes, I have been eating a couple of Cinnamon Toast Crunch for dinner multiple nights.
She's not serious. She's not serious. She's not serious about her weight loss. This is clearly a joke to her. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is a complete and utter joke. Like,
this past week because I get Toast Crunch. This is my favorite cereal, and yes, I have been eating a couple of Cinnamon Toast Crunch for dinner multiple nights this past week because I get home so late and I don't feel like cooking. And you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Mind your business.
but it's not fine though. But it's not. Like you're having whatever. Okay, fine. Okay. If she like it, I love it. She likes it, I love it.
I picked up 2 things of ground beef, one 80% and one 93%.
We got protein. We got some ground beef, probably for burgers or pasta, which would be flour, but we'll see.
I'm excited to try these. It is the Legendary Foods protein popped protein chips, and these are
She is oh Lord, somebody gotta tell her. She is addicted to buying things with the label protein on it. Girl, you are not helping. You're not helping yourself at all.
in the jalapeno cheddar flavor. I tried the ranch and the pizza flavor of these, and they're actually really good. So I really tried Quest protein chips as well. I picked up 2 of these Core Power vanilla protein shakes. These are so effing expensive, you guys. Like corn, which you guys, I have to give shouts out to Hill Country Fair. If you have not tried the Hill Country Fair popcorn, it is I had mentioned at some point, the theme of my daughter's 2nd birthday party is going to be too sweet. And a lot of times I'll just like break one of these in half and like give it to either my daughter or my husband. And then it's only 130 calories and I get to scratch and itch.
You listen, hear me out. And I know there has to be some wiggle room for having a kid in the house and you know, people in the house. I get that. But you don't get to be the Oreo ice cream sandwich cookie thingamajigger and brownies in a box girl. You can't have both. Oh my God. You know what? I said I was going to be judging and someone would be completely in the right to say like, who are you to say how to do this? I get it. I get it. But it's because I relate to her so much. I overcame a lot of these hurdles that she don't even know are hurdles yet. She don't even know these are hurdles. She don't know she's tripping over her own shoelaces right now. She don't even know. Listen, Journey, look, I asked y'all if kids need juice or snacks, and half of y'all said yes. Half the parents said yes. So I just try to stay out of it with the kids. I just try to stay out of it. But, you know, I ain't going to get into what the snacks should be and what they shouldn't be. Should they have them? Should they not have them? I ain't got no kids, so I'm going to stay out of it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch for dinner. Wow. just wow.
Picked up some of these Kraft mac and cheeses
More
for my daughter.
more flour. Okay.
I picked up some of these HEB ultra thin and crispy pizza
More flour.
crusts. 2 boxes of cheese shells for my husband.
More flour.
I honestly don't want these for her to try. They're the Happy Tots fiber and protein. You know, I got myself a little pouch, girl.
How is this a grocery haul for weight loss? It's 90% stuff for her kid. This makes no sense. And then the stuff that she does eat was 98% sugar. It was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So far, she told us that she eats ice cream sandwiches, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and brownies. And I'm assuming she's going to have some of the homemade pizzas. So that's flour. Like, what? Where is the food?
Sauces, which she likes those. These are supposed to have like these Kid Fresh chicken nuggets for my daughter.
Okay. She keeps saying for my daughter, for my daughter. Do y'all really think this food is for her daughter? Because I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Because how is 80% of the grocery haul just for her daughter? And so far for her husband, only boxed bowls of mac and cheese? Like, this can't be right.
Some sweet potato fries. My husband specifically requested some sweet potato fries. Oh my gosh.
Where is her food? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. This is how I know she's not being honest about how much she's eating out. This is how I know. This is how I know. This is how I know. If she's not prepping for dinner to make sure she has dinner when she comes home, which some people don't. Good night, Shonda. If she's not prepping that, she ain't prepping food for work either. She's not prepping food for work. She's probably eating out during work or doing the whole processed chips, Rice Krispie treat, just protein snacks after protein snack after protein snack. And it's just like, I would not doubt that she is eating out during the week too, even though she claims to not be eating out during the week. Because where is the actual food for her to eat? So far, I've seen ground beef, and everything else was for her daughter and a couple of things for her husband. I've seen ground beef and some sugary treats and cereal. Okay, let's continue.
My eggs are upside down, you guys. I hope they are not broken. I got some eggs, just
Protein.
some plain white eggs. They're good.
Girl, we do. Okay.
Got some of my center cut bacon that I use for my tacos. Got a huge bag of Mexican blend shredded cheese.
Cheese, bacon, eggs. Those things are on my list. Protein. Okay, check.
Got some Nutri-Grain bars.
No. You don't get to have Nutri-Grain bars if you're having ice cream sandwiches and brownies and cereal for dinner. No, you don't get to have that.
Very kind. I got myself some gum. I've been out of gum for a while, and if you
oh god, don't do that. Okay, never mind. Let's just continue. Okay.
I forgot how good they are, so when I saw them, I was like, oh yeah, let me buy some of those. I got some of these Nature Valley
No.
Crunch bars. Honestly, this was part of like a buy something, get something free kind of thing. I usually don't really like these things, but I'm sure my husband will like them. I got me some of my white chocolate zero sugar jello mix for my protein pudding. I got some of this Sonic. I picked up some of our fat-free Mootopia. This is basically drinks. I like to take these to work most of the time. And I also got some of the mini versions that I have with my breakfasts here at the house. This grocery haul just seems like it's taking forever. It's so massive. Okay, moving right along. Got some organic apples. I've been liking the Ambrosia ones. They really haven't yet, but it smells really good. So I'm hoping. Anyways, I also got some shampoo 2-in-1.
We're done with the edible stuff? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Jasmine, girl, no. Oh no. That was 90% for her daughter. And we're going to end it with some zero sugar root beer. Why not? Wow. Oh my. Okay. You know, I see, and this is why I'm like, okay, like I don't want to hear about PCOS. I don't want to hear about PCOS. Like, listen, I don't have the best diet. This is why I relate to her because it has been work Like I don't get to do grocery hauls, right? Because when you remove a lot of the processed food, there's really not much left to buy. You get some protein, you get some produce, some dairy, and you call it a day. You get some protein, you get some produce, you get some dairy, and you call it a day. She's not doing grocery hauls anymore. She said in her video that she was considering continuing to do them because people said they like them. She says she gets flack for it, but she's considering continuing to do them. And the video that we just watched was a haul. Now it was from a few weeks ago, but it was a haul. She said she's gonna continue them, so I don't know. I mean, you know, when I say I eat like a toddler, I mean I don't have a lot of variety, right? So like I will take a few different things and use them a few different, like, you know, several different ways. So I'll make chicken a bunch of different ways. I'll make, you know, pasta a bunch of different ways. Uh I don't really eat rice anymore. Rice and potatoes. I've really lost my appetite for rice and potatoes since being on the GLP-1, but like I'll just eat the same proteins different ways, and 90% of the time it's chicken that I'm cooking some sort of way, bacon, eggs. Like it's the same thing over and over. So I don't have a large variety. I don't like to try new foods. That's what I mean when I say I eat like a toddler. Not breakfast cereal, mac and cheese, chicken nuggets. Yeah, I'm judging. I'm judging because it does not have to be that way. Like she can replace that those chicken nuggets with chicken breast, or she can make her own chicken nuggets at home. She could do that, and that would cut dramatically down on the sodium. She could make chicken wings. She may not like bone-in chicken. Okay, whatever. She can still make chicken breast, boneless chicken breast, or chicken thighs. Clearly, she likes chicken. How many days a week is she making homemade pizza? I would say homemade pizza is better than the Tostino's frozen pizza. The mac and cheese, it's like, what is that? What does the mac and cheese even go with? Like, I didn't even see a meal. A mac and cheese is a side. I didn't even see what that was supposed to go. She could make a pan of mac and cheese and it would last her family like half a week instead of eating the powdered, you know, mac and cheese in a cup, which I'm not gonna lie, I like it, but I don't buy it because it's not worth the sodium for me. It's just not worth it. So it's like the beef was probably for, like I said, for some sort of pasta or burgers or something like that, which is not bad. I do protein shakes. I drink milk. I eat cheese. I eat bacon and eggs every day. Like, or not really every day anymore, but you know, most days. I just it was majority flour, and she claims that the whole first 3/4 of it was for her daughter. I, I'm just wondering what she eats. If she's not eating that stuff, what is she eating? She said she doesn't have time to meal prep dinner, so I know she ain't meal prepping lunch. She says she takes yogurt to lunch. She eats a Rice Krispie treat before her workout. Whatever. Whatever. Did you guys see all the new protein pack treats, Pop Tarts, donuts, Dubai chocolate cakes? Yeah, no, I'm not doing none of that. They're at Five Below, but each one costs like $4. No thanks. Yeah, I'm not doing none of that. Like it's a, you know, they know that the GLP-1 crowd has gone protein crazy. They know we've gone protein crazy, just like when keto was popular, keto and carnivore, the prices of bacon and beef went up. Bacon, you know, what they say, beef, bacon, and eggs. That's the motto of carnivore. The prices went up. I don't know about eggs, but the prices of beef and bacon went up when carnivore was super popular. So it's just like you're not about to convince me to buy protein donuts, protein chips, protein. No, I'm not doing none of that. I will buy a protein shake. What else do I buy that has like that's marketed as like high protein? Yogurt. That's about it. High protein yogurt and milk and protein shakes. That's about it. And those are supplemental. Those are supplemental. So it's like I don't know. I feel like she could do some work on that. I feel like she could like how does she not buy a pack of chicken? Like I'm so confused. Like okay, you have beef, you have bacon, you have eggs. Great. Great start. You have cheese. Not even gonna complain. You have yogurt. I think her yogurt is a bit sweet, but whatever. You have yogurt. You might want to reconsider, the type of yogurt that you're, drinking or eating or whatever. But how do you not buy if you do like chicken, how do you not buy a pack of chicken? How do you not protein bars or no? I've tried. Protein bars or no, I remember my gym teacher in high school ruining Nutri-Grain bars for me because I used to like the apple cinnamon ones. I'm talking 12 years ago. 12, 13, 14 years ago. My gym teacher ruined Nutri-Grain bars for me because I just knew I knew what I was doing trying to lose weight. And he's like, "That's all sugar." And I'm like, "But I thought granola bars and all of these bars were healthy." He ruined it. He ruined breakfast bars, how like just the whole category. He ruined it for me in high school. So I don't buy them. I don't buy them. And if I do buy them, I'm buying it because I'm assuming somebody else is gonna eat them. But I tell myself I'm gonna eat it and then I don't. So it's just like Jasmine gotta do better. She could do better. She ain't trying to do better. And I didn't even make a point about like, oh, she don't got no vegetables. Oh, she only got a little bit of fruit. Cause that I really don't care about that. Like, again, could she benefit from it? Sure. But you could at least start with the protein snacks, like getting them things the heck up out of there. Please get them out of here. So I guess the jury is still out, depending on who you ask, on whether or not, the GLP-1 space is delusional. But to that, I would say, like, I really think that people in this space are delusional about what it takes to lose weight because we have gotten so used to having the crutch. We can be delusional about dismissing some of the old guard as far as like what works and what doesn't. Yeah, they didn't get everything right, but some of those things, some of the basics work. Moving your body, lifting weights, making sure you don't overeat. Those basics still work, okay? And now with the GLP-1, we account for the hormones. Okay? Those that try to account for the hormones and ignore everything else, I think that's delusion. Those that try to only focus on calories and ignore the hormones and ignore the quality of the calories, I think that's delusion. Anybody that tries to have this one size fits all mindset, I think it's delusional. I'd rather grab a Snickers. You know what I like about the Snickers is that it has peanuts in it. So at least I get a little bit of fat with my sugar, which is not that's like a recipe for weight gain, but whatever. Um Snickers was my guilty pleasure a few different times. It comes up for me like once a year where I'll like have a phase of indulging in Snickers. But anyway, I think that there are varying degrees of delusion and people get into their cliques and they get into these echo chambers and all they know is, you know, what they tell themselves. I don't know. Maybe we're all a little delusional. I don't know. Not a Jasmine spiral. Uh Keto in the mist. Hello. I love me some keto. Well, I used to love keto. Keto got a little the appetite. The food aversion on keto was unbearable. The food aversion on keto was worse than GLP-1 food aversion. Like I had to quit keto. But keto in the mist, thank you for falling out of the clouds. I think it's the first time you've commented. I feel for her, but also believe there's a lot that she needs to change. We can't keep the same diet we were on to gain all the weight. Processed junk. Food has to be nourishment whole. Yeah, I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. Thank you for your comment. Like she thinks that she has to completely do an about face and make her entire diet about broccoli and chicken breasts. I don't think that that's true. I don't believe that at all. I just think that she needs to, if it's a spectrum, if diet is a spectrum, and this end of the spectrum is 100% processed because that was 100% processed or 99%. The only thing that wasn't processed was the berries. And she said those were for her daughter. Am I lying? Everything else is processed. I mean, if you want to take the beef out, the ground beef, I mean, that's minimally processed, but the only thing that was whole were the eggs and the berries. So it's like, okay, so if this is the spectrum and processed food is over here and a whole, let's say a vegan, like a whole food diet is over here. you can be anywhere. Or, you don't even gotta be a vegan to be whole food because carnivores do whole foods too. Meats are whole foods, you know what I mean? So whatever. Foods that are minimally processed have, 2 ingredients or less or whatever. She thinks that she has to go from being on this end where everything tastes good to being on this end. You know what else I figured out when I wasn't losing weight on a 10 milligram? Suck it up. You don't gotta like everything you eat. And I don't mean like your food shouldn't taste good, but like there are times I'm just not in the mood to throw some chicken in the air fryer, but I want to go to Bojangles and get some fried chicken tenders. You know what I mean? Because they taste better. So it's like, suck it up. No, you're not in the mood for your own cooking. No, you're not in the mood. You're just not. You're not in the mood. Oh well. Oh well. You don't get to eat fried food outside every day or 4 or 5 days a week. You don't get to do that. Them rules don't apply to you. You don't get to have a snack every day or like depending on like what it is. Like you don't get to have cookies every day. Smoothies. I love smoothies. I love Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I don't have the uh insulin sensitivity to tolerate large amounts of blended sugar fruit. So I can't have it all the time. Oh well. Oh well. Can't have it all the time. I love ice cream. I don't crave it all the time, but I do like it. Can't have it all the time. Oh well. I don't feel like eating at home 3 times a day. Oh well. Like, suck it up. Oh well. Don't get me wrong. I'll be happy when Friday come and I get to I'll be happy where I get to I don't care, gym or not, I'm eating out, I'm not cooking. Suck it up. Suck it up. The only thing I won't suck up is this. Suck it up and eat the spinach. I used to eat baby spinach in high school. I didn't like it though. The same gym teacher that ruined breakfast bars for me, he used to eat baby spinach and peppers, like raw. And I went home and tried it, trying to be healthy, and I just hated it. I hated it. I hated every second of it. So that's the one thing I haven't sucked up yet. I'm working on it. No, I'm not. I'm not working on it. But I dream of working on it. But everything else, I suck up. I suck up the fact that I can't have a caramel ice latte every day. I suck up the fact that I can't have, an abundance of sugar every day, a Snickers, a Twix every day. I suck it up. Yes, the concept that eating like a toddler is going to garner success. I have 3 little people and they have to eat more than just what they want. That's the immaturity of it all though. Like this is all that I like though. This is all that I like. And it's like, trust me, I get flack for not expanding my palate, but I'm just like, why don't you take what you already like and just change the form in which you're eating it? That's all I'm suggesting for Jasmine. This is 100% unsolicited advice if she ever sees this, which I doubt. Or if somebody ever timestamps this portion and gives it to her. My unsolicited advice that she did not ask for is take what you already eat and eat the non-processed forms. If you like chicken nuggets, buy chicken breasts or chicken thighs or ground chicken and cook that. Right? If what is she eating out? I don't know. What do people eat? If she's eating tacos when she goes out, make your tacos at home. 5 days out of the week. Well, not that you should have tacos 5 days out of the week, but whatever the case may be. Fried food. Let's say she likes fried food. Limit your fried food to 1 day a week, twice a week, whatever. Soda, juice, alcohol has to go. Needs to be extremely limited. Somebody like Jen that didn't have an issue with emotional eating before being on a GLP-1, according to her, she may not have the same triggers as somebody like me or Jasmine, right? So it's like Jen may be able to get away with a bit more than me or Jasmine, right? She may be able to tolerate certain environments better than me or Jasmine. So it's like you gotta know where you stand. You gotta know where you stand. Like if me and Jen go out to dinner and Jen wants to have 3 oversized chocolate chip cookies, I can't do that. I can't do that. If it's day 6, the day before shot day, and Jen is like, you know what? I'm about to have these 3 insomnia cookies, and it just is what it is. I'm just like, you go, girl. I'm gonna have me my one. I may steal half of one of yours, but that's about it. And I ain't gonna have them tomorrow. I don't do leftovers. If I go to a restaurant to eat, whatever I don't finish gets left at that restaurant. Except, you know what? I made an exception today. I was at Cracker Barrel and they had a basket of blueberry muffins. I did bring one muffin home. That was the exception. I wasn't gonna let a perfectly good muffin go to waste, but I did leave my French toast at the table. My French toast that I did not finish, I left it right there on the table. Sure did. I sure did. I don't bring food home. I don't do that. I don't do that. I swear I saw in a video her say that she doesn't like the chicken when it's not breaded. I don't think she will buy plain chicken breasts or thighs, but you can buy chicken breasts or thighs and bread them yourself. She should probably limit that, but if she doesn't want to, she can bread it herself. She can use breadcrumbs, she can use flour, but why get it frozen and it's loaded with sodium? As a treat or like as a convenience meal, okay, she has a kid, right? Kids are funny. So as a convenience meal every now and again, yes, but for herself, you can buy chicken and bread it. She don't know that. You can even get some buttermilk and eggs and do an egg wash or marinate it in some buttermilk and make some buttermilk fried chicken. Why am I turning nothing into something? I don't know. Whatever. Making a mountain out of a molehill. That's her life. She likes it. I love it. That's what she wants to do. I mean, I'm over here expanding. I'm not gaining weight, but I can feel my abdomen expanding because, like I told y'all, I've been slack the past week and a half, and I've had pizza 3 separate times, which is 1 time too many, right? If I have pizza 1 week and then I have it the next week, I'm typically okay. But the fact that there was a 3rd time mean I doubled up in one of these weeks, and that's a no-no. That's a no-no. So I can feel the inches coming. Okay. I'm not gaining weight, but I feel the inflammation. I feel the expansion. I feel the bloating. So it's time to tighten up, which means no more pizza until my birthday on the 31st. Pew, pew, pew. I can't wait. It's probably time. Lazy. I don't know. I hope she wakes up and changes for her benefit. I hope so too. I want to see her succeed, but she's so stubborn. I wonder if she's an Aries. No, she can't be an Aries because her birthday was like 3 months ago. She might be a Capricorn. I know y'all not into the zodiac thing, but like the only group of people that I have met that is more stubborn than me, the Aries, is the Capricorn. You can't tell a Capricorn nothing. Nothing. I don't know what her birthday is, but I'm just making a guess based on one of her video titles. I think it was from like 3 months ago. And that would be roughly Capricorn. You can't tell a Capricorn nothing. Taurus are supposed to be the stubborn ones? I don't know. Cause I know you can't tell me nothing as an Aries. Like I'm low-key sensitive, like a Pisces, but I'm stubborn. Like and bullheaded. Yeah, I'm all of that. I'm all of that. But anyway, so that was the end of that. Thank you to Jen for knowing how to trigger me in the most wonderful way. And then Jen sends me the email with like the 2 eyes looking like why do y'all do this to me? Jen and Reindeer. Oh God, why do y'all do it? But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. It's late. It is 1:30 a.m. on the East Coast, and we are at the 3-hour mark. So thank you to everyone that has stopped in. I actually made it to 50 live viewers for the first time without a collab. Like I was at like 100 and something with Dave, but that was, he has a big audience. But just me riding dolo, 53 people is we getting up there, y'all. We growing. I know my typical little 7 to 80, y'all. Y'all very territorial. Journey of life. Jen, Sydney, Nicole. My typical crew. y'all a little territorial, all right. Y'all will be here watching if only 3 of y'all are here, and I will be here live talking to you. But Thank you to everybody that stopped in. Please take the time to like the stream if you haven't already. And in case you missed it in the beginning, I have dropped another pound because I'm so amazing and I'm so vain. I'm 159 pounds. I am young and I am skinny. Yes, you heard that correctly. I am young and I am skinny, and I'm turning 30 in like 2 weeks. And I expect everyone to be here for my party. Don't make plans on the 31st. I don't care if you have work. Call out. Yeah, she sent me these eyes with the email, and I'm just like, great. We were supposed to go shopping today, Jen. We were supposed to do 911 shopping part 2, and look at where we ended up. Look at where we ended up. So if I end up on vacation with just a pair of Old Navy jeans and some leggings and some Ayuga leggings, just know it's your fault. Because we can't do it tomorrow. We're going to be live with Paul. And then the following weekend, I'm going to be, getting my hair done, going to appointments and yada, yada. So shopping trip is a dud. Backup shopping trip is a dud. And it's all Jen's fault. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to edit this video. So if you missed it, I'm sorry. I'm going to cut out a portion of this video. It's either going to be the second half or the first half. Either it's going to be just the Jasmine portion or it's going to be just the me portion talking about nothing. I don't know. Depends on how I feel because I don't want to leave it at 3 hours. So, but I love you all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Oh, let me go ahead and plug the stream for tomorrow. Just so you guys will know. Just so you guys. Where is my... We're going to be live with Paul tomorrow. That's why I didn't want to do like a huge GLP-1 update tonight because we're going to have to spend like however long Paul holds me for. We're going to have to spend all that time tomorrow talking about me. But this is the stream that we are going to be doing tomorrow. And I'm going to be on my best behavior. I promise. Look at your girl. Look at your girl. Look at them biceps. Oh my gosh, I'm so vain. And look at me. Try not to have a crush, guys. If you're watching, whoever's watching, try not to fall in love. Try not to have a crush. I know my arms are beautiful, but it's not that serious. Calm down. Everybody just relax, okay? So you will be able to find this stream on Paul Lane's channel. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. You don't have to, you can click on it now and click notify if you would like. Otherwise, I'll share it on my community tab probably tomorrow. But we are doing this tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Be there or be square. And Paul, I believe, starts and ends the stream with a amazing song with all of the, well, not all, but like most of the GLP-1 content creators in the space. It is amazing. I love that song. Fenity keeping everybody on their toes. Yes, I do. It is my job to keep y'all on your toes, even though y'all don't support my coffee habit the way that you should. Yes, Jen, yay. Be there or be square. Be there with bells on. Journey of life. I hope well, it's gonna be a little early for you. So I don't, 3 p.m. kids might be getting out of school or something. So I don't know. But I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. If you haven't already, again, for the 80th time, please like the stream, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Good night, everybody. I love you all.